Hello class, today we're going to be talking about inverses of linear functions. So let's first talk about what an inverse is. So a function f of x goes from the domain to the range, right? We have an input and we get an output. Well, that function's inverse, denoted as, this is read as f inverse of x. There's that little -1 in the exponent. It goes backwards. It goes from the range back to the domain. So what was once our inputs are now our outputs, and what was once our outputs is now our inputs. So it's the inverse function, and each function has an inverse. So let's talk about the steps on how to find the inverse. So first, if it's in the form of f of x, it's much easier to change it to y and work with it in terms of y. So change f of x to y. And then step 2, switch the variables and solve for the new y. This is the step that's going to take all the algebra. And then finally, change the new y into f inverse of x. So those are our 3 steps here. So let's take a look at this first example here. We have f of x equals x plus 2 over 4 minus 6. So first, I'm just going to switch my f of x to y. And then I'm going to switch my variables, so my y will become x, and my x will become y. And now I need to solve for my new y. So what we want to do is we want to get any term that doesn't have y in it off to the other side. And remember, terms are things that are separated from addition and subtraction. So we have this term and we have this term. So how about let's add 6 to both sides, because we want to get y by itself. And to get y by itself, we need to get all the other terms to the other side first. We want the y term by itself. So we have x plus 6 is equal to y plus 2 over 4. Next, we want to get rid of our fraction. So our fraction here, we can't move this 2 over until we take care of this 4, because this y plus 2 is grouped as being divided by 4. So how about we go ahead and multiply both sides by 4? Remember, we're doing the opposite operations. So what is divided, we multiply. And we're going to multiply the whole left side by 4. So make sure you put parentheses on the left side. So now we have 4x plus 6 equals, and then this cancels, y plus, 4x, that should be in parentheses, 4 times x plus 6 equals y plus 2. And then finally we want to subtract both sides by 2, and y will be by itself. I'm going to move this up here for sake of room. So we're going to have 4 times x plus 6 minus 2 equals y. And actually, I forgot a step. Maybe we can call this step 2.5. We should simplify this, make it look a little nicer. So what I mean by that is we're going to have to distribute this 4. So we have 4x plus 24, that's 4 times 6 is 24, minus 2 equals y. Well, we can now combine these like terms here, right? 24 minus 2 is just 22. So we have 4x plus 22 equals y. And then finally, our last step, change the new y into f inverse of x, just so we have it in the form that we once had it in. So I'm going to put the f inverse of x on the left. I can do that. I can swap sides here. So I'm going to say f inverse of x equals 4x plus 22. And there we have it. This is our inverse function. So let's take a look at a few more examples here. Now we have f of x equals x over 2 plus 7. So again, first step, I'm going to change my f of x into y. And then I'm going to switch my variables. So y becomes x, and x becomes y. and I'm going to solve for my new y. And to do that, again, we want to get the y term by itself first, so we're going to go ahead and subtract both sides by 7. Which is going to give us x minus 7 equals y over 2. And then finally, the only thing left happening to y in this case is it's being divided by 2. So let's multiply both sides by 2. And remember, we're multiplying the whole left side by 2, so we need to put the left side in parentheses. So this will cancel. So we have 2 times x minus 7 equals y. And now it's time to simplify here. We want to make this look a little nicer, get rid of the parentheses. So 2 times x is going to be 2x. 2 times negative 7, negative 14, equals y. And then for our last step, we need to turn y into the f inverse of x. And I'm going to flip them again. I like having the f of x, or f inverse of x, on the left side here. So I'm going to write it as f inverse of x is equal to 2x minus 14. All right, let's go to the next one. So these are all looking a little similar to each other. So again, change f of x into y. And then switch my variables. And then begin solving for x. So again, you want to get the y term by itself, so let's add 8 to both sides. And I'm going to move this up here for sake of room. So we're going to have x plus 8 is equal to 3y minus 5 over 4. And then again, we can't do anything to this negative 5 yet, or this 3, until we get rid of the 4. So let's multiply both sides by 4. And remember, putting the whole left side in parentheses, because we're multiplying the whole left side by 4. And so we're going to have 4x plus 8 equals, and this cancels, so we have 3y minus 5. And then we're going to add 5 to both sides. Which is going to give us 4 times x plus 8 plus 5 equals 3y. Now, y isn't yet by itself. It's being multiplied by 3. So how about we go ahead and divide both sides by 3, and then it looks like after that we'll be ready for simplification here. So this cancels. I'm going to go back up for sake of room. So we're going to have 4 times x plus 8 plus 5, and it's all divided by 3 because we divided the whole left side by 3. And then this 3 over here cancels, so it just equals y. And now it looks like we're ready to simplify. Notice we can simplify the top here. We can distribute that 4 and then combine like terms with that 5 after that. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 8, 32. Took me a while. Plus 5 over 3 equals y. And then we can combine the 32 and 5. So we're just simplifying right now. 4x plus, let's see, that's going to be 37 over 3 equals y. And then finally, last step, turn that y into an f inverse of x, and we're done. So f inverse of x is equal to 4x plus 37 over 3. And that's that function's inverse. Finally, looking at this last one, again, turn f of x into y. And then switch the variables. and then solve for our new y. So again, we want to get the y term by itself, so we're going to subtract this 3 over x minus 3 equals 6y over 5. And then we're going to multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of that fraction there. And let's see, we're going to have 5 times x minus 3 equals, and this cancels, 6y. And then we can divide both sides by 6 because y is currently being multiplied by 6, so let's do the opposite operation. And we're dividing the whole left side by 6, so make sure you do that. I'll bring myself up here for room. So we have 5 times x minus 3 over 6 is equal to y. And then we can clean this up a little, simplify, which means we can distribute this 5. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15 over 6 equals y. And then finally, last step, we're going to turn our y back into the f inverse of x. So we get f inverse of x equals 5x minus 15 over all over 6. So that is how we find the inverses of linear functions. So that's all I have for y'all today. So get started on the worksheet and let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day. Bye.